For people that live in countries with heavily car based infrastructure, they often don't realize how truly Orwellian their cities, and by extension their lifestyles, are. Now, I don't mean Orwellian in the sense of literally 1984, oh my god, oh my god, as most people that say that haven't actually read the book. I mean Orwellian in the way that the book carried themes about individuality and freedom of identity, something a car centric city plan is entirely against. Look at this street view of a big strode in Portland, Oregon. I'm just kidding, this is a strode in Atlanta. This is Portland. These two cities are over 2,000 miles apart, yet they look almost exactly the same. For comparison, London and Cairo are about the same distance from each other. It is a massive understatement to say that these two cities look nothing alike. Oh, but I could tell it wasn't Portland because there was a Bojangles, and Bojangles only operates in the South. Gotcha. No, that's not the point here. The United States is a continent-sized country with massively varying climates and history. No, not that history. Yet all its cities look almost exactly the same. The US has a long history of destruction, to the point where I would say that it is almost as deep-rooted into its culture as guns. The mid-20th century in North America saw the American car industry lobby terrible city planning laws into effect on the federal and state level. This also happened on a smaller scale in many other countries, including some that for some reason wanted to model their city of the future on the car-centric, suburban-based American city planning concept. These laws entail minimum parking requirements that were responsible for the parking lottification of Denver's central business district, or the zoning restrictions that allow these, and only these, specific car-dependent housing developments to be built in the general area of here, oh, and also here. And this is a major simplification of the long and complicated history of car dependence in North America. But the main takeaway from this section should be how cities are all different, with different geography, history, and people. For example, it is stupid to apply the same zoning system to both Los Angeles, California, and Scranton, Pennsylvania, and say that these two incredibly different cities should be built the same. Now, many other city planning YouTubers have made far better videos than this one about how much more efficient, sustainable, and livable, say, Rotterdam is than Miami. However, many haven't talked about just how soulless these car-centric cities have become. As a general fact, when you get into your car and join the masses out on their daily commute, you become well and truly invisible. Just another person inside another metal box going from one area to another. This system of industrialized and mass-scale car dependence has led most people to living similar lives. Across a country of more than 300 million people, everyone leaves their identical-looking houses to get into their identical-looking vehicles and drive to
name brand store.
It's just like a sci-fi film, guys. Great job! To be fair, the dystopic San Angeles in 1993's Demolition Man is probably exactly what they were going for, and they got at least halfway.
Your tone is quasi-facetious, but you do not realize that Taco Bell was the only restaurant to survive the franchise wars.
So?
So? Now all restaurants are Taco Bell.
No way.
Look, I'm not trying to say,
ooh, retail chains bad,
as those exist in pretty much every country. What I'm trying to say is that when everyone across basically an entire continent is forced into living the same way, despite different history and geography, it sort of destroys their identity and individuality. When every house, street, city is the exact same, the people in them going to and fro, up and down the same stroads and sprawled residential districts, a collective identity, a group lifestyle. Oh, sorry, wrong image. I meant freedom! Yeah, so many freedoms. Woo! Yeah, I love my freedom. Compare this to a country in Europe. When I was traveling around France and Switzerland in my first time outside of North America, I was amazed by how every town and city had so much character. Paris looked different than Monaco, which looked different than Geneva, which looked different than Zurich, which looked different than Strasbourg. For comparison, in North America, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Kansas City, Toronto, Dallas, Denver, Los Angeles. Boring skyscrapers in the middle, suburbs everywhere else. Wow, so unique. And you thought that was bad? Take a look at the average street in each of these cities. My God, now they all look like the same city. Now, cars may not be the sole cause of the death of identity in North America, but car dependence certainly plays a part. We have become enslaved, or at least subservient, to metal transportation machines, as well as the companies that produce them. Many works of fiction have warned us about the dangers of becoming reliant on a single company or corporate entity. Now, it's not like getting rid of all the cars in our cities will instantly bring some perfect utopia where every citizen is able to realize the best version of themselves. No. However, making our cities more walkable, livable places with better public transport will allow people to be more social with each other, live more sustainably and affordably, and also not have to worry about dying a horrible death every time they go to the store. I don't know, there's a couple positives there. And take a look at this map of downtown Denver, Colorado. The yellow shaded areas indicate the areas dedicated only to surface-level parking lots. In what multiversal existence is this sane, where we give up over 70% of our city's land to cars? And how is it not Orwellian that we have handed our identity over to vehicle manufacturers and become one with a metal machine? And while the best scenario would be for cars to fade into the realm of horse-drawn carriages, becoming a niche market and a symbol of a bygone era, it is sad that in our current world, the only point of pride many North Americans have in their life is their vehicle, be its model, color, or specifications. And even those with designer cars and collector vehicles still blend in with the ever-expanding mass of traffic. It is a common misconception that cars bring the freedom to see and go anywhere, to do and be whoever you want, to make your car an extension of yourself, your interests, and your personality. In reality, it is often the opposite. The car has become a shield, an outer casing within which we hide our true selves, a metal exoskeleton in which you climb into and become indistinguishable from all others, insignificant and unimportant. Car dependence is nigh on transhumanist, with a hint of totalitarianism, and because of that, I say it's Orwellian. Thank you for watching.